Hi everyone. Yeah, sorry yesterday that I couldn't join. So I was in my office and the meetings, it went until 8 o'clock. So I just had to cancel the call yesterday. But yeah, maybe we can compensate yesterday's class, like 1.5 hour, 1.5 hour on Thursday or Friday, like if you guys wish. Okay. So yeah. So yes, let me share my screen. Yeah, Kishore told okay. So if others are also okay, I can have the class like Thursday 1.5 hour and Friday 1.5 hour. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Then let me, yeah. So let me have this document open. So these are all the data types. So last week we were seeing about the creation of Salesforce fields in different data type, right? So this is our Salesforce org, and I'm going to app launcher and selecting this one, service or whatever. Okay. So I pretty much have this thing. So this account object. Okay. So uh, in this object, if you wanted to create, for example, this is the account record and you could see all the fields in this account record. Okay. So this is what it is going to be. Okay. So once you click on this edit object, if at all, if you wanted to create any particular field, okay. So you see the difference between this field and this field, right? So this is going to be something like URL. So once I click on this, it's going to take me to some website. Okay. Which means that, yeah. So yeah, so this is the one. Okay. So it's going to take me to that website. And if you see that this is not something like that. Okay. This is something in text. Okay. So this is of data type text and this is of data type URL. Okay. And if you wanted to see like this one, it has that inverted triangle called the drop down list box, right? And you have all the values in the drop down list box. So this is under the data type called pick list. Okay. So you go to creation of new field. This is how you go to you create a new field under that particular object. So you go to object manager, you go to that object, fields and relationship, and click on new. Okay. So once you click on this, you find the data type. Okay. So the data type, you pretty much have all the data types, which I was demoing you that day, right? Like, yeah, I was demoing you these data types, like uh, what are all the different, I have created auto number, formula and roll up summary, lookup external. I am going to have that on a separate day. Okay. Because these are all something that involves a little bit like logical understanding and also the relationship between different objects. Okay. So these four definitely we're gonna have it within this week, maybe on that 1.5 hour class. Okay. I can have yeah, these two topics and these two topics separately. Okay. And yeah, checkbox, which I already told you. So this is something called as checkbox. Okay. If you tick this, they'll say that as true. Okay. In a programming language. So if at all, if it is unchecked, it is called as false. Okay. And yeah, and you see this thing, right? Like this field is calculated upon save. So once you see this, it means that it's a formula field. Okay. So pretty much I showed you that day a simple example, right? Like on formula is blank. You use this blank function. If at all, if it is blank, it's going to throw some error or going to do some action or automatically populate. So that's something you can do using formula, but in detail we will learn better, right? So if at all, if you wanted to check this checkbox automatically based on some value, you can actually use a formula field as well. Okay. And the return type of this is going to be type enter for checkbox field. Okay. So yeah, if you go and see the type entered, I think I have said that in the backend. Let me just pull this out. Okay, type entered. Yeah, type entered. It's going to be formula the day I have created, right? On which day? It was on 1/3. So on March 1st, I have created this formula field. Okay, which says that if at all, if the type district, which means yeah. So you have this thing. Okay, if at all, if account type is blank, which means if it has no value apart from these available values, if it has none value selected, then it's going to return that uh, checkbox. I mean that, that if at all, if it is blank, it's going to have this one ticked. Okay. So if I have some value here, it's automatically going to have not ticked. Okay. So type number, of course. Okay. I need to enter that. So let me click on save. Oh no. First of all, I should take this thing out. Hmm? This validation is kind of like disturbing every time when I enter a value. Okay. So you see type entered is unchecked. I gave the value. So once I give again none, it's going to have checked. Okay. So that's how I have set the formula, which means if at all, if type district is blank, type, the account type, this is the API name for that account type. Okay. So if you see the fields here, okay. So when I show this type entered, okay. Sorry, pick list type, right? Yeah. So account, so this is the name that they used, right? So I already told you in formula, in the formula area and all, you will be using this thing, okay, not the field label, field name, okay, which is called API name. So account type is the field which I showed you, right, on the page layout. So this is the account type value, and it has the field name as type district. So in formula, I have used as if at all, if the type district is blank, then it should return enough checkbox manner. And I can also kind of like change the data type also, right? So yeah, the formula return type is checkbox. I can return in currency, date, time, number, percentage, text, time. So all these things you can return. Okay. So simply, if at all, if you wanted to fetch it in text, you can also fetch it in text, which means that the end value, if at all, if it is going to be blank. So I think, yeah, in text, this thing, I'm not sure if it makes sense. Okay. So I'm just going to have something like text type of district, which means that whatever value this record is going to have, that value is going to be automatically displayed in type entered field. Okay. Now I have the written type as checkbox. So it's showing in checkbox. If I wanted in text, I can have this in text. Okay. So these are something I'll be teaching you in detail also. So don't worry. Okay. So yeah, we have checkbox, which I already showed you guys. So billing to shipping is a checkbox field. And currency, of course, I told you. So I'm going to create a currency. I think I created a currency field, right? Yeah, that day I created a currency field and showed you. So if at all, if you wanted to change your currency value, so if at all, imagine you're working only for Korean clients, or you're working only for Dubai clients, okay? So you need to go to setup, okay, and type for let's go to company information, okay? So company information. So you have this thing, okay? So here you have the currency setting thing. So yeah, currency local is USD. You can always change the currency, okay? So if at all, if you wanted to change to uh, so all the currencies you pretty much have. So if at all, if you wanted to enable also, you can do, but before enabling it, you have to follow some rules, okay? So once you click this, you have to follow some rules. So yeah, and also I just read that the day when I opened that link, I just read that it has, it has something to do with Salesforce product team. So you have to probably have to log a case and request them. Okay, so they will actually kind of do some settings. Okay, and yeah, currency, and you have date. So now I'm gonna create. I think I created a date as well, right, guys? That yeah, due date, right? So if you're going to create some field in with data type, with the data type as date, you're going to get some icon like this. Okay, calendar icon. So once you click on this, you'll be able to select the month this way and the year. So if at all, if you wanted to put the date of birth, you do this, right? Like November 16. So this is how Salesforce kind of provides you the calendar along with this data type field. Okay, so that's the idea behind data type. And if at all, if you wanted to create date time also, yes, you will be able to create it. So I can have the same thing as the field name. Okay, so I can have this, and I am going to create a field. Okay, date time, and this is the place where you give access to the profiles. So if at all, if you want it to be visible for these profiles, you can have it. Or you don't want, for example, work.com user to have this field visible. Okay, so you can disable this, because they don't want to see all the fields, right? Like, which are not related to them, because it's providing too much of information and it won't be user friendly, right? So we can visible only the fields which are visible, which are related to their business, right? Yeah, so this is the place where you will have it in place where, like, you want it for different layouts, page layouts. And yeah, I have created it, and now let me refresh this page. Okay, so yeah, I have this thing. Okay, so now I'm gonna, so the difference between date and date time is, date, you just have this calendar icon, but for time you also have this thing. Okay, so this is something that you can set. Okay, so I wanted, consider this some due date, and March 30 is my due date, and the time, or imagine I'm from HR team and I wanted to credit salaries to all the accounts, right? So what do I do? I'll just set the release date and time for the salary to be credited. Okay, so I'm just going to set 3, and it's going to be 12 p.m. So now I click on save, and imagine seeing this time, your salary will be credited. Imagine this person, okay, this company, yeah, imagine this person is kind of having some issues, or he didn't uh, come to office, or he didn't work for 15 days. I need to have some loss of pay. So what do? I just have this edited, like, okay, let me credit on 5th of next month, or something like that. Okay, so this is something, one of the example that I gave you, but you can use it in different ways. Okay, so this is just the basic idea, or this is just the thing that Salesforce kind of provides you by default. Okay, so you don't have to uh, create or have different text boxes, text things and all in place. Okay, oh, actually lot of elegance rejoining. Okay, cool. So this is the thing, so this is the idea. Okay, so one thing I want to tell you guys, so you see this email field here, right? So this is something that once you click on this, it's going to be popped up into an email box. Okay, where it's going to be, the to address is going to be this one. Okay, and from address is going to be the user who has logged in. Okay, so I am the user who has logged in, so it will be having my email ID. Okay, and the subject and all these things, they'll be pretty much there. And this is the body where you can have, okay, like, hi, please do something, or yeah, uh, execute the uh, yeah, something, right? Execute the carrier, right? So you can have some message like this, and you pretty much have this option also. like you can attach a file. Okay, so you can upload it from your system. Okay, or you can have that shared with me, or you have like different things here, so you'll be able to do, right? And also you can have some merge field. Okay, so with different things here. Okay, so this is the object that you'll be having, and on the object you have the fields that are there. Okay, so on contact, if you want birth date to be displayed here, you can have our assistant phone number, or imagine you wanted to have something like first name. Okay, so it's going to be a specific of the record. So once I have this merge field here, execute the order, the name. Okay, and I can also have this thing here, which means that the person whose name will be in this email ID, it's going to be displayed. I mean, like, not email ID specifically. If I want it from which object, imagine I want it from this object. So account owner name is monkey mill, so it's going to have message like hi monkey and execute the carrier. Okay, so that's how it's going to have, like, if at all, if it's for this record, it's going to be that way. So if I execute, if I log in with Kishore account, if he's going to click on this, he's going to get this popped up, and he will have his name displayed. Okay, so that's how Salesforce works. And if at all, if you wanted to create or insert any template, so if at all, if you wanted to have this template overwritten, you can also have. So we already created one email template, right? Like product inquiry. So thank you for your inquiry. So this is what I created like for my Salesforce exercises. So imagine, dear, here I want some merge field. Okay. So I can have that as well. Okay. Yeah, pretty much you can have this images, all the font size, or the link URL. So pretty much all the options that Salesforce will provide you. Okay, insert quick text. You can justify. So whatever options is available in the Word, or this Excel, you will be having that. Okay, so this is related to assets. So this is something you can also choose it. Okay, so I want something from, imagine I want something from company object, which is account object. So I can have that. Okay, so it's going to be this way, and I'm going to click on send. Okay, then the email will be sent. So this is how the email field works. Okay, the data type. Okay, and also one of the thing, so if you're not having anything in .com or .org, okay, so it's not going to save, it's going to say invalid email address, because any email ID if you take, it's going to have .com or .in or .org or anything in the end. Okay, so which is why Salesforce by default they have said this thing, so without which you will not be able to save it. Okay, so even I think at the rate also, if you don't have I think it will not get saved. Yes, so you need to have at the rate also in place. Okay, in order to save this one. Okay, so only then you will be able to save the record. Okay, so see, this is the yeah, this is the thing which I sent. Okay, so it has gone to this arb@host.com, which is like invalid email ID. Okay, so I have put my monkey mails, the user account is associated with this. So the monkey mails user ID is associated with the my email ID. Okay, my Gmail ID. So that's why I've also got this email. So this is how this email thing works. Okay, so if at all, if you wanted to have something in email, and imagine some people, they don't they be so careless, and they don't take any efforts to actually fill this one, right? Like normally email, or if they fill it invalidly, it's automatically going to have the written email pushed to your inbox. Okay, so which is why Salesforce has by default set this rules. Okay, so this is one of the thing. And geolocation, as I already told you, in US and all, if you take, right, so geo. Okay, uh, okay, so in US and all, they'll be having something in geolocation. Okay, so they'll be having it in numbers, or I don't know. Okay, so it's how it is done. Okay, so you can have something in degrees, minutes, and seconds. Okay, so that's how they will display their geolocation. So it will have some degrees, and imagine like 180 degree west, and something east, and then the time or something like that. Okay, so that's something in latitude and longitude, I would say. Okay, so that's something that's more of geometrical or geographical thing. Okay, and decimal places, for all if you wanted to have in two. Okay, so this is how you can set something in geolocation. Okay, so if you have something in this, so this is a field level security page where you will select for which profile you wanted this thing to be there. If at all if you wanted it to be only read only, you can have that in read only. And this one account. Okay, so this is a place where you will be setting for page layout, adding to page layout basically. And let me pull this geolocation thing. Okay, so yeah, so geolocation. Okay, so you have this geolocation. All right, so this is going to be the field name, and once I refresh it, you'll be able to pretty much find that field on the page layout. Okay, so yeah, so this is how it is going to be. Okay, so you have this geo here, and you have the latitude separately where you can enter, and longitude, yeah, it should be in decimal. That's what, right? So yeah, let me pull this out. Okay, so I've just set it like so 0 0, and yeah, okay, it also has this. So this is how the latitude thing works, I guess, guys. Okay, so they have also given the range. The latitude should be a decimal number in range, minus 90 to 90. So let me put something like 8, maybe 10. Okay, yeah, so that's how this is done. Okay, and you have latitude, and you can set this way. Okay, so imagine I have something this way, and longitude value, of course I think I need to fill. So yeah, let me save. And this is how the geolocation. Okay, you will be able to set it. Okay, and this is one of the thing. Okay, so yeah, so this is one of the data type with which you can create, and out of which I'll be creating the number field. Okay, which is like most commonly used. So text, number, uh, checkbox, these are all the frequently used data types. Okay, whichever form you take, they're obviously going to have something in checkbox, they're going to have something in number. Okay, so this is type number is a number field. Okay, so you can pretty much enter number only. So if I enter something like this in text, it's not going to accept because this data type is of number. Okay, type number field has the data type number. It is created in the data type number. Okay, so you can't enter something in text, you can enter only in uh, number. Okay, so that's the idea behind the number field. Okay, so you can also have it in length. Okay, this is the length that you pretty much have. So you can click like below 18, and if at all if you want it in decimal, otherwise you can have it 0. Okay, otherwise 2 or 1. So it is totally up to you. So basically, if at all if you have it in amount and all, you will have it in decimal. Otherwise, if it is going to be like full rounded off number, then you're going to have it in 0. So this is something, these are all the options that are available. Okay, so if at all if you wanted to have this thing selected, which means that yeah, type number is something I have set it, I have selected this option. Okay, so that's why, without which I will not be able to save this. Okay, without filling any value here, I can't save any record. Okay, so clicking this checkbox is obviously going to not let you save a record without which you have to like fill this field. Okay. And also do not allow duplicate value. So if you click this, obviously if I create this record with this value and I'm going to create another uh, record, okay, and I have 5 value here, it's not going to let, okay, because it will say previously the other record had the same value. So maximum you will not have this value selected, but if at all according to your business condition, you might have this, okay. And this one set this field as unique record identifier. So if at all if you're you'll use a field to bridge the connection between your Salesforce technology and other external system, right? So if at all if you wanted this to be as a unique that bridge field, okay, so you will select this option, okay. So set this field. And AI prediction, use this field to store AI prediction score. So this is something that Salesforce provides. So that is called as Einstein Analytics. Okay. So that's something that Salesforce provides, but the license is too high. Okay. The price is too high that, you know, a big level company is only, they will be ready to do that. Okay. Otherwise they will not be ready to buy that licenses. Okay. So this is something that you can use. So Einstein Analytics. So whatever it is, but all if it is used in dashboard to predict the scores or forecast the data, opportunity, upselling, all these things. Okay. So yeah, that's one of the thing. And if at all this option by default you need to click okay, because once you wanted to create a custom report out of this object, if at all if you wanted this particular field to be displayed on a report, okay, so you need to click this. Okay, so if at all if you don't want this, you can uncheck this, but most of the time you need to click this. Okay, because sometimes what your business would say, I need one field for report purpose only, but I don't want that field to be displayed on the page layout. Okay, I don't want that field to be displayed on the page layout, or I don't want my end users to see that particular field. Okay, so what they'll be doing, they will be you know, selecting this option, but they will not be adding this field to page layout. Okay, so that's one of the conditions. So as I click through next, it'll take me next to the place where I have to give access to profiles, and the fourth page is going to be the place where I have to select on which layout I want this field to be visible, right? So yeah, so this is one of the thing, and I'm gonna click on next. Okay, so as I already told you, this is a place where it will have this thing here, and this is the place where you will have the page layout set. Okay, so I pretty much created that field. Okay, so yeah, I have created the field, right? So this is how this thing works. Okay, okay, so yeah. Mm. So this is the data type that you will be creating for number. Okay, and percentage, of course, if at all if you wanted to have a percentage value, imagine there's going to be something called discount. Okay, discount. So yeah, so you can have that in decimal. You don't want that in decimal, and it's going to be something in length. And yeah, you're going to click on next, and it's going to take you to the place where you have this profile selected, and you have this thing. Now you can add to page layouts. Okay, so yes, fields and relations. So pretty much you have that percentage thing. Okay, so once I click on percentage, you got this discount. Okay, so once I'm going to search with this one, you can enter that value, you know, the value here, and it's going to take in discount the percent format basically. Okay, it's going to have something in percent format. I'm not sure, let me check if it got added. No, it didn't get added yet. Okay, so that's how you create something in percent data type. Okay, and yeah, So phone, if at all, if you want it in phone. So I think I almost have the phone number. Okay, let me pull a contact. So I'm just going to contact record and I'm going to details. Okay, so you have this phone number here. Okay, so this is of data type phone. Okay, and again, I can't enter something in text. Okay, it's going to show. Oh my God. Okay, I think this is not the standard one, I suppose. Let me check this phone. Yeah, object manager, contact. Okay, I'm going to go to fields and discount. Oh, sorry, phone, right? So yeah, phone is a phone data type, but I believe yeah, we don't have such rules there. So maybe sometimes in phone number you would have this hyphen and all, right? So that's why they have left like, okay, let the number also be there. Okay. So allows you to enter any phone number, automatically format it as phone number. So that's what it does. Okay. So you can create in phone. So I think other phone and all is something in phone data type. Okay. And pick list, pretty much we have this thing. Okay. So here pick list, you will be having the details. Okay. So this is the pick list field. Okay. So if at all, if I wanted to create a new pick list field, imagine I wanted to create something on contact. Okay. Let me jump to a contact record. Uh, so I'm going to go to contact record and I wanted something in pick list field. Okay. So I will be creating a pick list field saying training. Okay. And you need to use this option to fill the value. Okay. So if at all you're going to use this here, you can set use global pick list value, which you will be defining in the global actions. Okay, which I'll be teaching you when I come to this buttons, links, and action. Okay, you'll be able to create your own actions, our own set of values and all, right? So this is something that you will be creating. And if at all, if you don't want it, like the usual way that everybody does is this. Okay, so imagine I wanted something, your names, okay? Kishore, okay? And Nalagindri and Ashwin, okay? So these are my trainees. I'm going to have these values and so I have not entered in alphabetical order, right? Like I have K in the beginning and A. So imagine if at all if you wanted to streamline this or display it in alphabetical order, you can enter in anything and then click on this. Okay, Salesforce by default it's going to display in a alphabetical order when you kind of click on this and see. Okay, so yeah, and use first value as default. So whichever value is going to be first, imagine as per the sort, alphabetical sort, Ashwin is going to be the first person. So whenever I'm going to create a new record, the training pick list value is going to have Ashwin as the first value. If at all, if I click this, use first value as default value. Okay. So now I don't want that. So I'm unchecking it and restrict pick list to the values defined in the value set. Uh, imagine this batch, I have 3 students and there's nobody joining apart from you. Okay. So I don't want any other value to be filled in the external. So imagine I have something, my contact object linked with external system. Okay. So they are sending some records. They are importing some records to Salesforce. They're transferring some records to Salesforce, and they are having trainees values differently. Okay, apart from these 3. So if at all, if my business follows some rule, like I don't want any values apart from these pick list values. Okay, so I can select this option. Otherwise, I can take this off. Okay, so it's totally up to you and your client. Okay. And also this one always require a field, which I already told you. Okay. So if at all, if you want something in type, you can have that. And yes, you can click on next. And okay. And you also pretty much have this thing or training, pick list, all these things. Okay. Which you'll be able to select, right? Like the field level security for which you will be giving for different profiles. and the page layout, of course. And then you're going to click on save. Now you're going to have something in, yeah, pick listing, right? So I'm going to have something in training, I believe. So yeah, so you see the values here, right? So Ashwin has been displayed as a first value because I selected that display it in alphabetical order because that's when I selected it automatically got sorted because I entered first Kishore's name and then Alagindi, then Ashwin. But no matter what, if I have 10 values also, if I click that option, it's automatically going to sort and display. Okay. So I'm going to have Alagendri or, Ashwin or something like that. Imagine this some of your report or score. Okay. So that's when you're going to have this in place. Okay. So yeah. So let's join again, guys. Okay. This bridge is gonna end. Yeah, so we are done with pick list fields. And the other thing that is there is pick list multi select. So imagine okay, imagine I wanted to take a OTT list. Okay, so my users they are using different OTTs. So I wanted to know what are all the OTTs they are using. Okay.